Okay, I finally got all these suspension taken care of. I had to take the cab off the hoist, and I've just got it sitting on the frame, which it looks a little sketchy, but it's good. You turn this fan off. Got this squirrel cage fan that my brother got out of an attic of a house, and that thing will move some air. I got it to where it's just rigged up, pointing directly down at the front of the truck. So yeah, I took these blocks off. The ready lift is just too tall, and I put it back down to stock. Got the stock blocks on there. Stock U-bolts, stock length U-bolts. New nuts for it, and then we went with the Bilstein shocks, which are just stock length also. But yeah, both sides good to go. Now, one thing I found on the back, as you see, that's kind of bent. What happened was they put these blocks on there. Let me see if I can find. All right, well, I can't find the pin, but I had to buy new leaf spring pins, and it's these center pins that it sets inside the hole. It goes through the whole screen, the whole spring, the leaf spring, and it sets down in this top hole. And then, of course, this sits on your axle. Well, on the passenger side, they had one that went down in the hole, but on the driver's side, they had this. And it was not going in the hole, and so it was crooked. It was cockeyed like that. The whole leaf spring perch, actually it's sitting this way because this points in along the axle, and this is the front of the vehicle. It wouldn't set down in there to locate it. It was like this, crooked. The whole bolt was crooked, and it allowed the leaf spring pack to shift over, and I think that's why these were bent. And you can see it's bent out, and I think that's why the guy said when I bought the donor truck, he said, "Oh yeah, it dog walks on the rear and it needs a rear alignment." Well, you don't rear align these things. Once everything's tightened up, it's tightened up. There's nothing to adjust. So I think that's what happened though, is that they just substituted that pin for a bolt, and it screwed it all up. It was cockeyed, letting this whole thing shift over. But anyways, we fixed that. We've got new springs on the front with new shocks. We took off the 3-inch ready lift and put a 2-inch taller spring than factory. So we still retain the level kit, but we put new springs instead of having blocks up there at the top. But yeah, so the suspension part's done. And I've already started taking off engine parts. That's going to be, I've already got the turbo off, and all the wiring is disconnected. I'm waiting for, I've got a special tool to take off the transmission lines to get the radiator out, start taking the front end apart. But yeah, so suspension's done. Everything came out good. I got all this stuff I need to throw away. Front shocks were completely worn out. I compressed one of them and it did not come back out. Yeah, see, you can see it sitting next to the other one. It's still shrunk up. And there's the factory springs with those lifts, those spacers. So yeah, we got rid of all that. So next is injectors, oil cooler, and little upgrades here and there, and then we'll put it all back together. And that's it. Cross our fingers. But that's it for the suspension. I'm not going to do too much of an engine one because there's so many 6.0 heroes on the YouTube that do these things. I'm going back with all Ford stuff. But that's it. All right, so the suspension part's done. I could technically put the truck back together and drive it but it needs injectors, so it wouldn't run very good. But as far as the bullnose swap part, that's finished. I know everything's gonna fit, front clip will fit, the cab's gonna fit, everything's gonna fit. So the next video won't be for a while because I'm not gonna cover all the engine stuff. I mean, there's plenty of 6.0 YouTube videos out there about head studs and oil coolers and let's see, head gaskets and all that kind of stuff, upgrades to do, you know, blue spring kit, you know, turbo rebuilds, all that kind of stuff. So I'm not going to cover all that. I'm just going to do it and try to knock it out, not worry about filming anything. And then when I set the cab down, start putting the front end back together, then maybe I'll make another video, unless I run into something. But everything should go fine. But if you have any questions about the swap, hopefully I covered it in that video of what I cut and how everything went together. Moving the trans cooler, fitting the AC condenser, you know, and I used the 05 dash. So if you're wanting to do it different, that's going to be wiring, you know, if you want to keep the old dash. But if you have any questions on the swap, what I cut, how I fit stuff, let me know. If not, hopefully next month or so I'll have the engine stuff done. I'm going to try to really hit it hard, and I've got everything on order and everything. Most of the stuff's here already, so hopefully I can get that done pretty quick. But until then,